Good morning, Floss Tube. Welcome to Floss Tube number 1 of Stitching with My Kitties. I'm Patty Penn, and I'm so glad that you're able to join me. I'm very excited about my new Floss Tube adventure, and I hope to make many, many more. Right now, I'm planning on trying to tape every other Sunday because I'm a monogamous stitcher, so I don't have a lot of whips to show you. In fact, I only have one. I have tried having numerous projects going at the same time, and my brain just can't handle it. I don't know why, but I can't do it. I even tried having a Sunday or Sabbath stitch and stitch monogamously the rest of the week and then pick up that project on Sundays. It was a rather large piece. It was cardinal points, and I just couldn't do it. So I put that aside, and I'm just still stitching monogamously. I started stitching again in early 2020 when COVID hit. I happened to find a Floss Tube channel that Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop had. And when I saw it, I was fascinated and could not wait to pick it up again. In fact, the very first thing I stitched was Lori Holt's She Thought She Could Sew, S-E-W, she did, with the cutest little sewing machine. I actually FFO'd that into a pillow that's in our family room. I'll try to remember and bring it up to show you. I started cross-stitching when I was 14. And I stitched all through junior and senior high and college. And then I put it aside in roughly 1983 as I started taking sewing lessons for garments. So I went down that rabbit hole, and I still sew garments. But I could not wait to get started on cross stitch again. And in those few years, I'm not going to tell you how many charts I have or how much overdyed or fancy floss I had. That was unheard of when I started stitching back in the mid-70s. So it's a whole different world. I want to especially thank all of the friends that I have made through the various floss tubes that I watch. My good friend, Niecie Lynn Williams, and I have never met, but we text, we talk, we email, and we're meeting for Weekend B in Cincinnati for StitchCon in June this year. I can't wait to see her in person, and she's the one that encouraged me, along with my good friend Judy. I'll tell you more about Judy in a couple of minutes. Encouraged me to start a floss tube. So I started working on Let Freedom Ring by Lila's Studio pretty soon after I picked up cross stitch. I saw Pam Schaffner stitching it and fell in love with it. So I ordered everything kitted from Keepsakes, where Stephanie Schaffner works. And I ordered it for, I think it was 16 count Ada. It may have been 18, I just don't remember. It's framed and on the wall. I'll have to take a picture and show you. So anyway, the chart turned out to be not Ada friendly. So I had to rechart a couple of the motifs and sayings so that I could do it on Ada. But that was fine. It was a very fun stitch. I'm so glad I did it. Well, Keepsake did not have, I think it was Time, and I can't remember, but I think it was Gentle Arts. Well, I asked Niecie Lynn if she could see if any of her viewers knew where I could get the time so that I could work on Let Freedom Ring. Well, a sweet woman sent me 4 skeins. That's you, Judy. I know you remember. And so I have been great friends with Judy and Niecie Lynn ever since. Today is my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, Damon, if I didn't say it earlier. And of course, the big news, go KC, is Kansas City is playing in Super Bowl 58. Love me some Patty Mahomes, and I can't wait to see the game. Don't hold that against me if you're a 49ers fan. Love you guys too. So this is a channel not only about my cross stitch, although that's what 90% or more will be. I also really enjoy machine embroidery and a little bit of quilting. So I'll sprinkle that in at the end so that if you're not interested, you do not have to continue to watch. I am a monogamous stitcher. I will show you in just a few minutes the piece that I'm working on. It's Jardin Prive sampler and medallions, and I'm loving it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the fabric also. So let me first show you my cross stitch planner. For the last 2 years, I had ordered the Lori Holt planner from that quarter shop, and I just did not keep up with it. So I decided I would go to Amazon and buy an inexpensive monthly planner to see if I would do it. Well, I've been pretty successful. Now you will see, I don't know how to turn my back camera. I don't know how to mirror it. So everything's going to look backwards. I went on YouTube and I also asked Siri how to mirror the back camera. It's really easy to do the front. And I couldn't figure it out. If any of you have an iPhone, I have the iPhone 14. If you have it and know how to mirror the back camera, please let me know. Now, so my monthly planner, as I said, I went and bought an inexpensive one off of Amazon. Well, this one happens to be a 2-year planner. So there's, is it focusing? So there is the front cover. I, of course, started it in January the 1st. I was working on my Music Quaker Sampler by Jardin Prive. That was actually a free pattern that did not really have a name that I could find. So I started that and I stitched it on Oh Holy Night 36 count even weave by Fabric Flare. In future videos, I will also show you my collection of Fabric Flare in 36 and 32 count. I love their fabric. I cannot say enough good. Kudos to the company. I followed them on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I think my handle is Patty, P-A-T-T-Y, pin 4, the number 4. I can't wait to get it back from the Framers. I have a piece at the Framers that I'm going to pick up next weekend. And that was Red Rabbit Sampler, I believe. I'll show it to you in my next video. So here's my planner, and as you can see, I didn't fill in all of the days, but I did go in and decorate it, and I did put here finishes for January, listed them out, and then behind this it has a notes page, 2 pages actually. So I wrote down some ideas for my first floss tube. And then I took pictures of some of my finishes. Now I have 3 more to do that I finished in January, but they're either not fully finished or they're at the Framers. I did take 2 pieces to be framed in January. So, and I started my current piece that I'm working on that I just mentioned, Jardin Prive Sampler and Medallions. I started that on January the 25th. I was hoping to be finished by the end of February. It is 300 stitches by 200 stitches, so it's fairly good size. I am stitching it on 40 count Verdal. I can't remember if that's Zweigart or Witchelt. I will look it up and try to remember to tell you on my next video. Well, that was my first time stitching on 40 count. I stitch in hand using the sewing method. That gets a little tricky with the 40 count because the fabric is very soft. And my eyes had to adjust to the very high count fibers. So I ripped more, frogged more than I've actually left stitches in. I have taught myself, if I think I know the repeat of the pattern, don't trust it. I put in one whole corner border, had to rip the whole thing out. So I'm being very methodical. I'm using my line keeper. I'm using highlighter tape for when I have to move up rather than go down. I am an upper right-hand starter 90% of the time. If I'm stitching only DMC on 32 count or higher, no, 32 count or lower, and I'm stitching DMC, I will start in the upper right hand corner using the loop method since I need 2 threads. However, since I'm stitching this on 36 count, even though it's all DMC, I still had to start in the upper right corner so that I could anchor my thread. So yesterday when I was going through some of my stamping stuff, I found a frog stamp. So as you can tell, I had to do a lot of frogging, and I've been frogging quite a bit. So I have quite a few kits in project bags that have kitted up rather, that have the fabric, the pattern, and the floss. So I knew I had a whole bunch of them, so I decided I needed to get those under control, figure out what I had kitted up. So I went through and I came up with not 1, not 2, but, hold on, 3 pages of charts that I have kitted up that I have not started. So that's some of the things that I will show you in the weeks to come, since I only work on 1 chart or 1 project at a time. Now, I love to make project bags. I started out making the large size by Patterns by Annie. Love it, love it, love it. Then I found some panels that I had. Some of them are Teresa Kogut that goes back to like the early 1990s. So I would cut the panel and then make the project bag and adapt the sizes as needed. Well, then I found Tiger Lily, Carrie Chamberlain, Tiger Lily Designs on Floss Tube and Instagram, I think. And she had 2 different size project bags. One was a mini and one was just a project bag. So I've gone down that rabbit hole and I've made quite a few of those. And this is one of the ones that I made from Carrie's pattern. This is the mini project keeper. And here is the inside. It has 2 different sides of zippered pockets and a pocket behind there. So let me pull out, this is my Jardin Prive that I love, 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 even though I frog quite a bit. And I'm going to pull it out so that you don't get a glare, hopefully. And here is the chart. So this is the part that I had put in right here in the lower right corner that I had to rip all the way out and put in again. That's when I decided that even though I thought I knew the rhythm of the design, I had to use my line keeper and highlighter tape. I don't like using highlighters because my eyes are drawn to that as opposed to keeping my working copy clean or marking through with a pencil. But this is how far I have gotten. Let me pull it back so you can see the whole thing. And so that's the top and the bottom. And as you can see, it's going to be quite large. I've got a large piece of 40 count Verdal, but I love it. And I'm using all the called for DMCs. And I still have a few Pat Carson needles, so I'm using 28 count Pat Carson needles. But in my Christmas 12 Days of Stitchmas that Tiger Lily had, she sent some pony black white eye needles. Now they're very short, but I do love them. So I did order a few more packs from Linda's Silver Needle today. She's having her annual Super Bowl sale, 20% off of any in-stock items. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. These are my Pat Carsons, and then up here are my Pony Black, and I do love them. So thank you, Carrie, for including those in the 12 Days of Stitchmas that introduced me to Pony Black needles. And then I had my flosses before I started stitching on my floss ring bling, and I'm almost positive that I got this from Siggy's Closet on Etsy. I will try to remember and put in the drop-down box the websites or the YouTube names for the floss tubers that I've mentioned, as well as link to any Etsy shops that I'm using. One other thing I would like to show you is while I make project bags, I like to make thread beds to go with them. And I'm going to try to open this up, but all my threads are in here. So it's kind of a mess, but I really love making these. Now, I didn't have a pattern for the floss bed, so I just took, they're actually 8 by 10, and then of course 5 by 8 when they're folded in half. I also like to make Ort containers for that match my project bags. I'm kind of a little nutso, I guess. So that is my current whip. And again, that was on 40 count Verdal, either by Wichelt or Zweigart. So let me show you my haul. Now, one of my local needlework stores, Needlecraft Corner, up in, well, I call it Baltimore. It's not actually in Baltimore proper, but a friend of mine went up there for her open house at the end of January. It was fabulous. The ladies that work there, as well as Dreama, the owner, they could not have made us feel more welcome. We had lunch there. Didn't even know that would be included. A lot of the ladies came and stitched. Well, I'm going to go back up there on March the 9th. I will definitely take my stitching. Hopefully I'll be done with sampler and medallions, but we'll see. But it was such a great experience. Just lovely, lovely people. So they have a cricket club, a monthly cricket club. Now, the charts are free. They go ahead and print the charts out for you, but they include your choice of fabric and the necessary flosses. So this one is, I think this is January. I know that I could show you the chart, but I don't want to, even though it's free. I'm not comfortable doing that. But I'm almost sure that you could go to I think it's Cosmo Cricket. Yeah, I think it's Cosmo Cricket, and find the designs. And then this is the February one. So I do need to start these, but don't know when it'll be. Then I am doing a Garden Cottage Samplings Fabulous House series. It's a 12-month series. I already have the third one. And I'm doing the series through Fat Quarter Shop. You don't get floss or fabric or anything, just the chart. But But I love this one too. Oh my gosh. Is that the cutest thing? So I'm looking forward to starting this also. I think I'm going to stitch them individually, but it's going to depend on the size even weave or Lugana that I choose. Then I am a Patreon of Tiny Modernest. This is my second month with them, and this is February's chart. Isn't that adorable? And it's boho bell pull. I think that's the cutest thing. Then I was watching the Blue Flower, which I love her channel too. And she showed this squirrel, and it's a free pattern. I thought that was the cutest thing. So I went and I printed out the squirrel and a couple other things. This is all on page 2 that she has on her website, blueflowerdesign.com, I think. I'll put it in the drop down. And I printed out a couple other of her free charts. But I've got to do the squirrel. We have loads and loads of squirrels where I live. We have not only the gray squirrel, we have black squirrels, and we have a few blonde squirrels. They are adorable. I'm also a member of Teresa Kogat's Patreon. I'm tier 4, and this is the February, and this is for tier 3 and 4. And I just think this is the cutest thing. I still work. I telework mostly, but I do still work, and I have no idea when I'm going to get all this stitched. I will retire one day, but I don't have a date yet, so we will see. Now, I mentioned that my first finish when I started back, excuse me, with Floss Tube was Lori Holt's She Thought She Could, So She Did, S-E-W. And I fell in love with her stuff, stitching with the housewives, a couple some of the Tiny Modernest cutesy things. But in the last 6 months, my taste has totally changed. I cannot get enough samplers, especially Quaker samplers. So I did order this. Excuse me. This is a sampler. I did a Sunday virtual retreat with Acorns and Threads, and Fox and Rabbit was the guest designer, and this is our chart, and this is so cute. So another, I've got to get with it. This came with the chart and the flosses needed. Mostly weeks, I think it was, but some DMC. Not weeks, Classic Colorworks. All the flosses came with it. Then Primrose Cottage Stitches. Oh my goodness. They're Christmas Quaker. I love it. I can't wait to start it. I just did their winter Quaker, and it's in my dough bowl. I will try to take a picture and figure out how to put the picture in the video. It might be next time. I think I may have to take the picture, do the video, and insert it there. And then, of course, bunnies are my thing. So Silver Creek Samplers, Love is in the Hair, H-A-R-E. I think that's what it's called. Love is in the Hair, yes. So I've got to do that one. Then Annie by the Proper Stitcher did this very, very cute pattern that I will start one day. A True Love Story Never Ends. So, and that is called Love Story. And my last piece of cross stitch haul is from Ink Circles, and I love their stuff also. I have completed, I think, 2 of their charts. One was Amsterdam or Holland, I don't remember which. And then this one is Wildflowers. And I love the 2, actually it's 4 colors. And that's all Classic Colorworks. And so that is the end of the cross stitch. I would like to show you, I'm doing the Kimberbell, I think it's called Sing Noel. Over 12 months, you do a one slice of a Christmas tree skirt. Then at the end, you sew them together and you have a Christmas tree skirt ready to go at the end of 24. So this is the third piece. And I love it. Can't wait to get all 12 pieces. And in addition to the tree skirt wedge that you get, you also get a matching ornament. Well, I haven't finished February's ornament yet, so I can't show you that, but next time. And then this is February's. And I just think that angel is gorgeous. I mean, she's just beautiful. And then here is the ornament. And I know that's got a glare on it there. Maybe you can see it better. And that is a piece of vinyl. And those are little white beads representing the snowflakes. Love it. And then the first one, Sing Noel. So I'm a quarter of the way through, it looks like. And I just love it. And then here is the ornament. It goes, whoops, that's the wrong side. Here we go. Well, there we go. You have to get the greenery behind. Okay, Patty. Well, it's just not there. Now you can see it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And then the last thing I have to share with you today, as I said, or maybe I didn't say, because this is like the fourth time I've taped this morning. I am in a door banner monthly kit from Fat Quarter Shop. And I just got my first one, and this is, of course, for Easter. I love bunnies, as I said, so I can't wait to start this either. Since I do telework, I'm only up here in my sewing room and my craft room behind me on the weekends. Saturday mornings, I get up, have my coffee, cross-stitch a little bit, come up, sew, quilt, embroider, whatever. Then go down at lunch, come back up, and then 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I go back downstairs and stitch. Now, during the week, I stitch in the mornings before I go up to my office to work. Then I stitch for about 45 minutes at lunch, and then for an hour or so in the evening after I get back from my walk. I walk 3 miles a day, 4 days a week, or 4 days is what I try to do, and I got them in this week. So I do quite a bit of stitching, and I love it. I do want to thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you like it, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. Tell your friends, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Go Chiefs!